Day one of the NFL season's finally here. What team do you guys cheer for? I'm obviously a Minnesota Vikings fan. Skol Vikings! To be a Minnesota Vikings fan, you either had to be born in the state of Minnesota or grow up in the state of Minnesota, because they've been a very tough franchise to cheer for. Unlike me, Angie's a Green Bay Packers fan. Now that's a much easier franchise to cheer for. They have this thing in their trophy case called the Lombardi Trophy. I know you Viking fans out there may not know what that is. I mean, it took a college education from Wisconsin for me to learn what that is. To get this Lombardi Trophy, one must win the Super Bowl. Now, if you're a Vikings fan like me, you've never seen the Vikings make it to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl game actually matters to some fans. They aren't there just to watch the television commercials. Since the Vikings are an uncommon team and difficult one to cheer for, here are some tips on how to be a Vikings fan and not have it ruin your fall. I need to go on a super long run today in order to have time to share all this advice with you guys. I'd say the most important tip is this: start each season with very low expectations. That way every win pleasantly surprises you. Tip number 2, draft a fantasy football team this season. This will give yourself a chance to cheer for a team that has a shot at winning the championship. Here's another important tip. No matter how happy you are, never, ever, ever brag about your team on social media. You have 0 Super Bowl wins, so you have nothing to brag about. This next tip I had to learn the hard way when I went to school in Wisconsin. Don't cheer against the Packers. It will just leave you unhappy. They're too good. Not they. Aaron Rodgers is too good. Just accept the fact he's a Hall of Fame quarterback and maybe even draft him for your fantasy team. I guess some may call me a fair weather fan, but hey, I moved to North Carolina for a reason. Weather up north isn't great. Don't take it personally when someone makes fun of your team. And a lot of people will make fun of us, but that's okay, because one day we'll prove them wrong and win. Just don't expect it to be this year. Remember, low expectations. Cheering for the Vikings to win the Super Bowl is kind of like buying a Powerball ticket and wanting to win. You hope it happens, but realistically you don't think it's ever gonna happen. So there are my tips. Hopefully they help you become a happier Vikings fan this season.